Although it still doesn't appear like Star Trek 4 will materialize, a new Star Trek film is on the way. It was announced in January 2024 that a prequel film, taking place decades before the 2009 reboot, is under production. Through his Bad Robot firm, J.J. Abrams will once again produce. Seth Grahame-Smith will write the story and Toby Haynes will direct. Star Trek 4 is supposedly still in active development as of January 2024, so it appears that this won't be a deal-breaker. However, there hasn't been any fresh information regarding the film's status. Writer Lindsay Anderson Beer stated in September 2023 that the film was still on the tracks, and Variety followed up with news that Paramount intended to expedite scripts for a planned reboot of Star Trek. We're not sure yet if this planned reboot is the now-announced prequel or something else entirely. Chris Pine doesn't either. He responded, "Not that I know," to a November 2023 question on whether he was aware of any plans for a fourth Star Trek film on comicbook.com. To the amazement of both the cast and the fans, J.J. Abrams was returning to produce and Matt Shakman to direct, meaning that the long-gestating film finally appeared to be moving forward in February 2022. Regretfully, Shakman abandoned the film in August 2022 to take over as Marvel's Fantastic Four director. The film was subsequently completely pulled from the schedule by Paramount in September 2022, while it appears that a director hunt is still on. The reboot trilogy's 3 producers and 2 directors, J.J. Abrams, announced in March 2023 that he was still looking for a director. "I will say it's the first time that we have a story that feels as compelling as the first one," he stated to Esquire. Of course, Chris Pine also referred to the franchise as being cursed, so your level of optimism will depend on how you feel. Right now, all that is actually known is that Star Trek 4 will most likely not be released in theaters in December 2023 as was once stated. Here's all the information you need to know about Star Trek 4's Return of the US Enterprise while you wait. Star Trek 4 potential release date. When can we expect Star Trek 4? As you can see from the foregoing, Star Trek 4 has been postponed indefinitely from its original release date of December 22, 2023. As such, there is now no definitive release date for the film. Regarding when it might resurface on the schedule, there are no rumors either. Before Shakman left the project in June 2022, Brian Robbins, the head of Paramount Pictures, did indicate that work on the 4th Star Trek was underway. "We're deep into it with J.J. Abrams, and it feels like we're getting close to the starting line and excited about where we're going creatively," he stated. Star Zachary Quinto, though, stated to The Independent in November 2022, "At this point, I honestly have very little attachment to it. We all want to return and create more films, but I've come to realize that the only things that truly excite me are the ones I can confirm are real. Furthermore, there is currently nothing about a 4th Star Trek film that feels authentic." However, other stakeholders, such as writer Lindsay Anderson Beer, appear to be optimistic about the project's future. Star Trek forecast. Who's going to be in Star Trek 4? Not even after the first announcement of Star Trek 4's December 2023 release date was it certain that the cast of the reboot would return. Having said that, Robbins acknowledged that the public wants that cast in this movie while making his announcement in June 2022, referring to the cast of the reboot. Therefore, we wouldn't be shocked if it were to eventually happen and have an entirely new cast. You can likely then expect the returns of Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, Zoe Saldana, Carl Urban, John Cho, and Simon Pegg. Urban seemed eager to make a comeback while admitting in March 2022 that he hadn't seen a script like Pine. "Working with those guys again would be amazing. They're the best hangout and so much fun. We shall see," he exclaimed. Quinto's words suggest that everything feels very uncertain. But that doesn't mean we have to give up hope. The original idea for the 4th film was a time-traveling adventure in which Chris Pine's character, James T. Kirk, would somehow team up with Chris Hemsworth's character, his father, who had passed away. Hemsworth discussed his reasons for leaving the film in May 2019, saying, "I didn't feel like we landed on a reason to revisit that yet. I didn't want my contribution to be viewed as insignificant." Hemsworth seemed receptive to returning for Star Trek 4, though it's unknown if the film is taking a completely different course or intends to bring him back. Rings of Power producers J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay gave further hints regarding their initial concept for the 4th film in October 2022. The conceit was that through a cosmic quirk in the Star Trek world, they were the same age, McKay said. "We also don't know yet whether the upcoming movie would recast Pavel Chekhov following Anton Yelchin's terrible death in 2016. When Saldana noted in March 2022, "It's bittersweet because we are coming together for a 4th time, and one of us is no longer with us. But we honestly feel that going back and keeping the Star Trek family together is a way to really keep him alive in our thoughts and our hearts." Star Trek 4 plot. What's going to happen in Star Trek 4? As of right now, the 4th film's premise is unknown, and it's unclear how closely it will tie in with Star Trek Beyond's conclusion. As the 3rd film came to a close, Kirk chose to remain as the captain of the US Enterprise rather than accept a promotion to Vice Admiral. Spock likewise elected to remain in Starfleet and resumed his romance with Uhura. After the previous US Enterprise was destroyed during the events of the film, they are all ready to resume their mission aboard a brand new one as the film closes. It implies that anything could happen in the 4th film. However, Pine feels that the story shouldn't aim to outdo Marvel, regardless of its structure. "I've always believed that Star Trek belongs in the smaller zone. It's not a Marvel appeal, you know. Let's make the movie for the people who adore this cast of characters, this narrative, and Star Trek," he exclaimed. "Let's prepare it for them, and it would be nice if others wanted to attend the celebration. However, set a price for it and produce it so that, at best, it makes $500 million. Star Trek 4 trailer, any Star Trek 4 footage yet? I take it you're kidding. We're locked in the mirror universe, so much as we'd love to get all timey-wimey ourselves and show you a Star Trek 4 future teaser. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more.